Middleton and Giannis are the forward tandem. The backcourt comprised of Bledsoe and Matthews. And it's Lopez in at the 5 down low. These guys have known each other, Clark, for a long time. There should be very few surprises tonight.
I agree with you, Kevin. Two veteran teams here, and that means that execution becomes the driving force in success.
Bledsoe with it. And the whistle blows on the back. Court violation. He went over and back. Beverly the pass to Williams. Back to Beverly. Williams in the post. He's covered by Matthews. Williams kicks to George. 5 to shoot. And George with this stuff.
Love the unselfishness of Beverly. I mean, when he sees his teammate wide open, he quickly gets him the ball.
Here's Antetokounmpo, and Giannis throws it down.
Okay, 2 hands for safety. That's what they say, right?
That's right. He was ultra safe with that dunk, no question.
And he should be. I mean, remove all doubt. Get it down, hard, and simple.
And it's blocked, and he's able to get it back. Leonard kicks to Harrell. A 3. It's good from long range.
And he likes to get in a rhythm early. Nice triple.
First quarter, just over a minute played. And let's catch up with our sideline reporter, David Aldridge.
I had a chance to catch up with Mike Budenholzer. There's no question this team can shoot the ball. That's the philosophy he's instilled here. The long-range shooters they've got, he wants them to move the ball from one side of the floor to the other. And then take that first open look that's available. Kevin?
Thanks, David. Always want to get those threes falling consistently. Here's Bledsoe. And that'll be 2 free throws coming up. Officials on the call with the foul.
You know, while Eric Bledsoe isn't a 20-point-per-game scorer like he was in Phoenix, you could argue that he's a more effective player since coming to Milwaukee. His efficiency is at a career-high level.
He hits the second from the line. And for Bledsoe and the Bucks, he's been a great fit, Clark, as a third option on the team.
Yeah, I agree, guys, because it really comes down to recognizing the right spot and right role for you with your team. And Bledsoe himself recognizes that. He says he's the happiest he's ever been since coming to Milwaukee.
And it's out of bounds, and they say it was last touched by Leonard. Just about 2 minutes into the game, first quarter of basketball.
I love the fact that Paul George expends great energy at both ends of the floor. He's a rangy defender who's extremely disruptive.
Beverly finds Leonard. Back to Beverly. There's the pass to Leonard. Can't hit that one. Great D that time for Middleton. And it's Milwaukee's ball, trailing by 4. And it's Giannis missing.
You know, the fact is he's not a lock from there, but he was open enough to where he should have hit that shot.
It's thrown by Antetokounmpo. Here's the break. Shot's good by Bledsoe.
It would take more than that to stop Bledsoe now. Come on. I mean, this guy excels at taking contact and handling punishment on the way up.
Now here's Williams. Pass to Beverly. It's good. Great play by Williams to set it up.
You know, maybe he's not one of the elite sharpshooters, but even still, that's not a shot that D can afford to give him.
Bledsoe outside. Back to Matthews. Pass to Giannis. Just 5 to shoot. Giannis is double. Here's Lopez. tried to come right back with the three of his own, but it's no good.
Well, the Bucks on offense look to swing things around and pick up the tempo as much as they can.
Well, you know, this team was second in the league in pace. They want to get the ball down the floor and get an easy three or a transition chance. That was their game plan. This approach had them as the fourth best offense in the league last year.
Now Harrell. Kawhi Leonard missing from long range. Outside Williams. He kicks to Harrell. Leonard against Bledsoe. Pulls up on the wing, and that one's good. Leonard.
This is as good as it gets for a first quarter in terms of shooting the basketball.
Greg, you're exactly right. I mean, everything seems to be dropping. Impressive scoring here.
And Milwaukee calls their first time out of the game. A lot of guys like to shoot off the dribble, but Clark, there are some that really are better at it, shooting off that catch in the NBA.
Yeah, and who do you have in mind, Kevin? I got a couple of names that I'm thinking about. What about you?
Well, I'm thinking Klay Thompson, because that backcourt is so prolific, and he's been so great at that, and that's kind of been his trademark.
Yeah, it has been. Redick would be another guy.
Yes, another good
I think that would come to mind. And even though he's later in his career now, but Kyle Korver, one of the very best we've had in the league at shooting off the catch.
And that one's good. Shamet. Bucks trail by 9. Here's Connaughton, and the rejection by Zubac. And that basket's going to count, folks. Gets the goaltending call right there.
Just barely too late and catches it on the way down. He's already in the air there, committed, so can't fault him for going for the block.
Here's Beverly. His second shot goes in, off to a good start, 2 for 2.
Yeah, you can't leave a lane to the basket available for Beverly, because if you do, he jumps on it quickly.
Here's Giannis. It's hauled in by the Clippers.
The defense ready for him on that possession. They had to be, because he is so strong in the paint.
They get a hand on it. It's stolen by Antetokounmpo. Here's Hill. Off to a good start as he hits his first shot attempt.
Boy, the precise placement by Hill with these floating jumpers, that's a hard shot that he's mastered.
Passes it to Shamet. Back to Beverly. It's stolen by Hill. 1 second separating the shot clock and game clock. And it's good, 2 points.
And really, it's been a major aspect of their offense in the early stages here. Their success working the ball inside and getting points from close range.
The pass to Beverly. Kicks it to Green. Back to Shamet. Oh, and he just knocked down the buzzer beater.
Resourceful move there, ending the period.
And that concludes the first quarter of play. The Clippers on top, up 7. And we'll get going after this from Milwaukee. Paul George.
My inspiration really came from my mother. You know, her dealing with stroke, her dealing with really being down and out. You know, I saw her fight back.
Well, what a story. George worked hard to get back and is not disappointed in his return.
You know, recovering from a devastating injury is never easy, but George's perspective and commitment helped him to overcome it.
And hope you've enjoyed the broadcast so far. Halfway through the first half in this one. And guys, what's your take on the Clippers so far?
Well, the offense is clicking, and they seem to have seized the momentum here early on.
Yeah, you know, I agree. No warm-up needed. They came in on fire and have already built a nice lead.
And a chance here presented by Gatorade to see who's on the floor, all fueled up and ready to go for the start of the second quarter. And Milwaukee, looking at who they've got. Kyle Korver is out there with Antetokounmpo. Then it's Ilyasova. Then there's Hill. And it's Connaughton in at the shooting guard position. And on our sideline, our reporter, David Aldridge.
Well, Lou Williams won 6th Man of the Year for the 3rd time last season. He joined Kevin McHale and Detlef Schrempf as the only players to win the award in consecutive seasons. And with the most career points ever scored off the bench, maybe they should just name this award after him. Kevin?
David, I'm all for it. Thank you so much. And boy, is he in good company.
Well, for so much of what Paul George brings to the table, you have to start with his defensive impact. He is one of the top defenders in the league at his position, if not the best.
In the corner, Shamet with it. Outside, Green. In the corner, Shamet with it. Some nice ball movement by the Clippers. 5 on the clock. Zubac's the pass to Green. In the corner, George with it. Over Hill. George, no good. You look at George with all he does, Greg, you sometimes forget how good his perimeter defense is.
Well, I mean, his teammates and coaches won't ever forget about the impact he has on that end. Even when George isn't scoring or the shot isn't falling, he is still a monster on the floor just with his defense alone.
Big group substitution here for Milwaukee. Lopez, he's checked in for Antetokounmpo. Chris Middleton comes in for Kyle Korver. Matthews, he's checked in for Pat Connaughton. And it's Eric Bledsoe in for George Hill. The Clippers also making some changes. Harrell, he's checked in for Zubac. Leonard comes in for George. And it's Williams in for Patrick Beverley. Williams kicks to Shamet. A three-pointer off the mark. Bucks trail by 5. A shot by Middleton, wide open. Milwaukee, no good that time either.
Boy, defense non-existent there, but they catch a break as he whiffs it.
Stolen by Middleton. Here in the second quarter, we've played a little over 2.5 minutes now. Ilyasova hits the bucket.
How about the court vision of Middleton? Just so good at finding the open man.
Bledsoe against Williams. Somehow ignores the tight D and gets the way up. Williams has got his first basket of the night. Now here's Matthews. He's covered by Shamet. Here's Bledsoe. That one drops for him.
Bledsoe's a master at taking it to the rack. I mean, his combination of strength and speed, hard to contain.
Leonard finds Williams. It's good for his second make. He's made 2 of 3 so far.
I mean, the number of points they've scored in the paint already here is eye-opening.
How great the Clippers signing of Kawhi Leonard and Paul George, the grand finale of the wildest summer in NBA free agent history.
A ton of big moves. You think of the star players who've changed teams, 1/3 of the league's all-NBA selections, and 5 out of 10 of the reigning all-star starters. In the end, we saw 7 players who've changed teams, signing for over $100 million each. Put that in perspective, only 8 players had ever done that in league history.
Green kicks to Williams. Just 5 on the clock. Lets it go. No good off the back of the rim.
Not sure what the D was doing there. Clearly a breakdown. You can ill afford to give a guy like him that good a look.
Boy, impressive intensity displayed by Ilyasova. He's a real Energizer Bunny type of guy who can sky up really fast and finish at the rim with a lot of force.
And the Clippers decide to take their first time out here. Well, last season, Chris Middleton was asked Clark to change his game, and even though it took some adjusting, the results were there.
Yeah, I agree with you, and that's not easy for a guy of Middleton's ability. Early in the year, Coach Bud asked him to take on less for the good of the team. That meant less post-ups for Middleton, less shot creation from him, and the numbers for Middleton went down, but the success of the team took a big bounce forward.
Bledsoe against Leonard. Kept alive. Shooting foul as the whistle blows. He'll shoot 2 free throws.
You know, he didn't get to the line in that entire first quarter. But right now, he's showing some aggressiveness out there.
And let's get your take, guys, on the scoring breakdown for the Clippers.
Really some great drives to the basket here early on for these guys.
Something else they've been able to do so far tonight is earn those tough points in the paint.
He misses the free throw.
Well, you think about Ilyasova's lethal jump shot. It makes him a valuable player because he can stretch the floor.
No good at the stripe this time. Second misses also.
and lost his touch right there. Didn't see that coming. Usually when he's hot, he stays hot.
And that one drops.
Whatever the defense gives, that's what he takes. A sign of a skilled offensive player.
Leonard against Bledsoe. And it's good for 2. Bledsoe's got 4 points now in the quarter.
Love how Bledsoe mixes it up. I mean, proving how dangerous that floater of his can be.
Pass to Shamet. Outside Leonard. Back to Williams. That's good, and it's Leonard with the assist. Leonard's got 3 assists tonight.
And he has really come to life here after a slow start in that first quarter.
Ilyasova. Green with the rebound. Green's got his 4th rebound in this one. Here's Shamet. Here's Leonard. Draws contact on the shot, and now a 3-point play chance as he'll head to the line.
And one area where they've improved here in the second quarter is getting the ball in the paint. That inside scoring has gotten much stronger.
Here's what Milwaukee's going with right now. Anas Antetokounmpo's checked in for Ilyasova. Korver comes in for Chris Middleton. Pat Connaughton, he's checked in for Wesley Matthews. And it's Hill in for Eric Bledsoe. Hill against Beverly. Here's Hill. This one for 3. That one no good. And so it's Los Angeles heading to the bench with a 7-point lead as we wrap up. Thanks so much, Dave, for the great interview. Don't go away, folks. We'll be back for the second.
It's the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Greetings to each and every one of you. Right out of the gates, it was the Clippers setting the tone. At one point, they had a 9-point lead fueled by some entertaining defensive and offensive plays. By the end of the first quarter, their lead was 7. Moving on to quarter number 2, the intensity escalated, but the margin remained the same as they finished the half still up by 7. And let us get your thoughts, big fella, on the Clippers.
You got to like their offense efficiency.
And that's a wrap. With the third quarter approaching, we now send you back to Kevin and the crew.
And if you're just joining us in this one, first half is in the books. 1 half to go. We have to like what we're seeing so far from Kawhi Leonard.
And the way that he has helped out with the ball movement has been a difference maker early on.
And, you know, that's not a job they ask him to do very often. But in the first half, I thought he was in perfect sync with his teammates.
Getting underway in the second half, here's the 5 for Doc Rivers. The 2 stars, George and Leonard, fill up the forward slots. Beverly and Williams, the guard tandem. And Harrell's in at center. And Clark, when you were playing, I imagine the pre-draft process was a lot different than it is today.
No doubt about it. I mean, I came out in 1982 after my junior year, Kevin, and at that time, if you were a guy who was declaring early, you basically just had to go on whatever knowledge and information you could get from whoever, because there was no allowing you weren't allowed to go to a workout. Teams could interview you, but there were no on-court workouts, so it was totally different than today.
Well, if you don't take care of the ball, fellas, that's what can happen.
Absolutely, Greg. That makes the turnover even more painful.
What? You mean the throwdown at the end? I'll tell you what, fellas, I mean, the highlight shows are going to pain them even more.
Matthews against Williams. George passes to Williams. And Harrell wide open. He shoots. No good. On the 3. And so Giannis will bring it up for the Bucks. It's a 10-point game. Shot's good by Bledsoe.
And you know what? I like the tough-mindedness of Bledsoe. I mean, it's never easy trying to keep him under control, especially when he's driving the ball.
Here's Harrell, and the call on the shot sends him to the line.
And wow, you
just have to love the motor on Montrezl Harrell when he's on the floor. Great on the glass, and he just plays with such a fire.
Off on that one, so he goes 1 for 2 at the line. And with Harrell, you can see how his energy spreads to the rest of the team.
Reminds me a bit of what Fareed used to bring to teams. Harrell is also undersized, but boy, he makes up for it in so many ways.
Here's Bledsoe. It's rebounded by Leonard.
Well, you will not see that from him very often, especially right at the rim.
Stolen by Bledsoe. This is Giannis. Tries a three. The Clippers grab the miss. Leonard's got 4 rebounds now tonight. Williams finds Leonard. To the paint. Here's Harrell, and Harrell slams it in.
Yeah, I mean, maybe could have tried for a more memorable dunk than that one.
And we know he's capable of those memorable ones.
Hey, they've got a nice, comfortable lead here, fellas. Might as well keep it simple. Do it a plain, simple one-hander, just like pound cake.
I would agree. Los Angeles calls timeout.
And team strategies closely guarded. One aspect of the game the fans aren't always privy to.
Yeah, typically there's some type of adjustment made out of a timeout. It might be major, or it could be just a slight tweak.
Pat Connaughton, he's checked in for Wesley Matthews. Zubac is checked in for the Clippers. Landry Shamet comes in for Williams. George double teamed. And the rejection by Giannis. Here's Connaughton. Bledsoe outside. Knocks it loose. Out of bounds, the Clippers take possession. And some changes here for the Bucks. Kyle Korver, he's checked in for Chris Middleton. And George Hills subbed in for Eric Bledsoe. Third quarter of basketball here, and just a little under 3.5 minutes gone by. Leonard draws the double. Back to Zubac. And the dunk by Zubac.
The D just kind of stepping aside and letting him get to the rim.
There's a reason, GA, the lead is what it is right now.
You know, you look at it, the communication is lacking, as is the trust. They can ill afford those types of breakdowns. It won't work. You can't win with those kind of breakdowns.
Pass to Korver. The tray. No good on that one. And the Clippers will go the other way with it. And George with the stuff.
Boy, George has major hops. I mean, this guy just gets up big time for these throwdowns.
Hill dishes to Lopez. Down low. Yep, it goes. And the Clipper lead is cut down to 11 on the bucket from Hill.
You know, in just his first season with Milwaukee, a huge success for Coach Budenholzer. I mean, came in and led the team to the top seed in the East, gave the franchise a huge boost, and I think they found their leader for the next several years. At the offensive end, he's been assertive and efficient, guys, a big reason why they hold this lead right now.
Ilyasova, he's checked in for the Bucks. And the Clippers with a change here, too. Green's checked in. Clark for the Bucks. The players said Budenholzer instilled a sense of confidence in the team.
And you know what? Sometimes you have a coaching change, and that injection of a different type of approach and a change in culture can make a big difference. Coach Budenholzer has always shown the ability to get the most out of his roster, and shows you what a difference a coach can make.
Korver passes to Hill. From outside, off the mark.
I'd love to see them impose themselves a little more on the backboard. That's a great way to find confidence. Always a surefire way to get back in the game.
Well, guys, they need to do something to reduce this deficit. We'll see if that's the answer.
Brook Lopez is checked in for Milwaukee. They could use a big shot here to get this offense going.
Too many empty possessions. Right now, they need a basket.
Giannis outside. Inside. And the rejection by Zubac. And George kicks to Shamet. Some nice ball movement by the Clippers. On the wing, George. Guarded by Korver. George finds Zubats. Shot clock at 5. George with the bucket. George has got 11 in the second half.
Just no resistance on the inside. That's their 5th consecutive make in the paint.
And Greg, those looks they're allowing are almost automatic.
Lopez against Zubats. Back to Connaughton. That 3 off the mark. Los Angeles leading by 15, and again the Clippers turn it over.
Boy, that looked like a failure to communicate. You hate unforced errors.
And so on to Antetokounmpo looking over it. Milwaukee, no good that time either.
Nobody even close to him, and he can't believe he doesn't knock it down.
It's stolen by Antetokounmpo. Doesn't get it to drop for him. Paul George, he's been the guy making things happen for Los Angeles. He comes away with 11 points in the quarter and is showing no signs of fatigue. And we've got more NBA action. And there may not be a lot of drama down the stretch as we head into the fourth quarter, but stranger things have happened. Bucks trail by 15. Giannis is the 4 with Lopez the 5. Then there's Hill. Then it's Matthews. And it's Connaughton in at the shooting guard. That's the group for Milwaukee right now. Outside Matthews. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Here's Lopez. And misses it off the right side of the rim.
The edge on the glass is the difference. It's allowed them to build this lead.
And really a reflection of their superior effort level to this point. It seems to me they've gone after this win a little bit more.
Here's Zubats. Williams for 3. A rebound by the Bucks. Lopez has got his 4th rebound in this one. To the inside. Makes it off the glass. Lopez has got his first basket.
You know, that's what you want out of your point guard. Hill is really doing a nice job getting the ball from side to side and not hesitating at all in doing it.
Green, the pass to Shamet. He kicks it to George. Back to Shamet. And it's sent back by Lopez. An even 3-on-3 break. Jacks up a 3. But he recovers it. Green with the block. Left side, Williams. Here's George. Good, and it's Williams who picks up the assist. Williams has got 5 assists in the game. All right, well, look at how the hustle game has been going for the Clippers.
You know, block shots, guys, a clear indicator on the stat sheet of their excellent defense. I mean, leaving them no room to get off any shot.
And also, how about the points they've gotten in transition or on the fast break tonight? That's been a huge factor as well.
And the Clippers call time here. Zone defense, Clark, being played now by a lot of teams. It's amazing that even with that, the point totals just continue to rise.
And you know what? I attribute the point totals continuing to rise to a couple of things. One, the volume of three-point shots that are being taken. And I think teams are playing at a little faster pace universally. You don't see as much walking the ball up the floor as I think you may have seen in years past.
It's a chance now to catch up with the 4th member of our crew, Hall of Famer David Aldridge.
Well, during that last break, Kevin, I got a chance to hear what Doc Rivers said to his team. He's encouraged where they are at this point in the game, but he told his guys things can turn in a blink. What we need to do is execute the rest of the way. So we'll see if they can finish this one off, Kevin.
They grab their own miss. Antetokounmpo with the bucket.
Just a positive force right now for these guys. And though his team has fallen a bit short, it's not because of him.
George finds Shamet. Here is Williams. Now Harrell passes it to George. Ball's knocked loose. Oh, and here comes Bledsoe all alone. And the jam by Bledsoe.
Matthews doing a nice job using those instincts of his at the defensive end to come up with steals.
Harold drives in, and Harold slams it in.
Oh, inflicting some punishment with the two-hand flush.
They're going for the throat.
Now's the time to do it. Keep attacking that rim.
Leonard against Bledsoe, trying to get open is Lopez. Another shot, and Giannis with the layup.
They are just killing them on the interior.
Yeah, you can't say that with enough emphasis. I mean, the defenders are just not being aggressive enough down low. You got to play with some physicality in the paint.
And denied, he sends it right off the glass. Williams passes to Shamet. Kicks it to Williams. The Clippers need to get off a shot, and the shot goes in. 13 points for Leonard.
Leonard has really become so good at catching and firing. I mean, he doesn't allow the defense any time to alter his shot.
Now it's timeout called by Milwaukee.
Well, the evolution of Brook Lopez continues as he is now a premier stretch five. His three-point shot continues to get better and now a huge part of his arsenal.
A chance now to recognize our Jordan player of the game, Kawhi Leonard.
And his focus, guys, has been laser sharp, and his touch from the field, flawless. The teammates have worked hard to get him the ball in some good position, and boy, has he rewarded them with a spectacular shooting performance. Great call to keep running all those sets for him.
And as the star of this team, he knows he's going to be the object of the crowd's anger. George double-teamed. Middleton looking it over. He gets it to fall. That makes it just a single-digit lead. And Lopez bold enough to give himself a nickname.
Yeah, well, what was it? Splash Mountain or something like that? I guess he's earned it with the work he's put in on his outside shooting. More and more centers these days shooting the three ball.
And it's Beverly missing. And it's Antetokounmpo with the ball. He'll bring it up for Milwaukee. They've given up just 8 points in the fourth quarter.
And, you know, Middleton is a man of many talents. When you least expect it, he hits you with a ridiculous floater.
Clippers moving the ball around. And Harrell slams it in.
I'll tell you what, his vertical is awesome, off the charts. A short center who still makes his presence felt.
Bucks trail by 9. And here's Giannis. It's hauled in by George. 59 seconds left in the fourth quarter of this one. It drops. That's his 9th field goal of the contest. A blistering hot 9 for 11.
And now as the clock ticks down, this is going to end up as a solid victory here for the Clippers.
Their hard work on the glass paid off.
I tell you what, they're both excellent rebounding teams, and it was a tough battle underneath all game. And I think ultimately that earned the W.
And we watched one guy all night long, guys, and looking at the stats just confirms what a dominant game he had. What a night tonight it was for Paul George.
It was the kind of game for him that all scorers dream of, where the basket seemed as wide as a barrel.
Looking at who's out there now for the Bucks. Robin Lopez is checked in for Lopez. Sterling Brown comes in for Chris Middleton. Dante DiVincenzo, he's checked in for Wesley Matthews. And it's Hill in for Eric Bledsoe. Here's Harrell. The three-pointer, no good.
Not enough ticks left on the clock to save them tonight.
Not by a long shot. It's all but official.
Offensive rebound. And that one's good by Lopez.
A guy that doesn't give up on the glass. Lopez, a real force at rebounding the ball.
Harrell dishes to Beverly. To the middle. Here's Leonard. Good D by Giannis.
And that is a textbook example of how to defend your rim.
And you know, guys, I love his fight and grit on the interior. I mean, he never lets a shot go uncontested.
16 feet away. So the Clippers with the win. They seem to relish their role as the bad guy here tonight.
You know, Kevin, I sense that as well. I mean, they really did feed off all of of that negative energy this crowd was directing at them. I mean, they turned it around and used it as motivation to close out a significant win.
And now we'll send it over to David Aldridge, who is standing by courtside. David. All right, David, great job. Thanks so much. And that'll wrap it up, folks. For Clark Kellogg, Greg Anthony, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan thanking you for watching the NBA, presented by 2K Sports. So long.